Welcome back to my channel, sports fans. Okay, let's get into this one right here. Proving the LeBron fans to be idiots, right? We're going to prove, once again, the LeBron fans to be idiots. And don't take it personal, because we know where they get their information from. The Nick Wrights, the Shannon Sharps, these type of cowards. I guess we can add Gilbert Arenas, who says a lot of ludicrous stuff. But these cowards, these liars that teach the LeBron fans all this nonsense. So we're going to talk about other years of Michael Jordan's career past his 1988 Defensive Player of the Year or his championship years. We're going to talk about that today. But first, I want to address, and this is the last time I'm going to do this because this guy keeps embarrassing himself, Johnny Arnette. I want to address him because, bro, can you just stop while you're still ahead? I don't know how far ahead you are. You're kind of in the back, but you're not last place. Just stop, man. You made a video today trying to explain what you did making that Michael Jordan video. The video you made today had nothing to do with what you did by making that video, and people's anger and thoughts. It's ridiculous, man. Just take the L like a man. I took the L like a man. I had to apologize to Dreamers Pro for saying he was getting paid by Clutch. I took the L. I had no solid proof. I say you're doing Clutch work. I can't say you're getting paid by Clutch, but you did Clutch work by doing what you did, homie. And come on, man. You're Johnny Arnette. You know better. You're a better person. You do great work. You're up there in the upper echelon of YouTube as far as sports. And that's why I made the video. And that's why I put the comment on your video. I was very disappointed that you would do something like this. Very disappointed. Just take the L and say you messed up, bro. Not sure you would have did something like that if they would have talked about Kobe in that same sense and try to take back his MVP year and you went back and look at his stats. I'm not going to get too deep into it. I done made 2 videos about this, bro. I want to move on. But you got to stop, man. The video you made today has nothing to do with why people's mad. That's a whole different video. You can't do that, man. If you guys want to hear my video on Johnny Arnette, I made 2 of them. I'm not going to take this stuff back, bro. I'm not going to take it back. And what he explained in this video today, it doesn't explain nothing that he did. Us liking other players and you know, looking at other players' weaknesses and criticizing them has nothing to do with anything. Clutch put the whole matter out, and nobody went head over heels to try to find these tapes, and you did it, bro. I'm not going to go back into it. You should be a better person. You're Johnny Arnette, bro. You're Johnny Arnette. You're not just some stupid YouTuber on the internet. You're Johnny Arnette. You're in the upper echelon, bro. We wouldn't expect you to do something like that. So let's move on. We've all heard this before. Michael Jordan was a ball hog. Don't know how. He wasn't even a point guard. You ever watch Michael catch and shoot, catch the ball, make a move, sit around dribbling like a fool? His assists were mostly on the move when he got the ball and going to the hole or something like that, the majority of the time. Ball hog, doesn't pass the ball. All he does is score. So let's look past the 1988 season, where Jordan got his first playoff win thanks to Pippen's 7 points per game in the playoffs. Your second leading scorer scores 7 points per game? Yeah. Wow. What kind of team were they playing? And why did Mike have to score, put up 45 per game? And then most of them series in the first round, he was putting up like 50, 55. So the next year, after Pippen watched Jordan put up these phenomenal numbers, the Jordan Savior put up these phenomenal stats, all-time stats, clean up all the awards basically in the league. Could you imagine? maybe go to like a fortune teller or something like that. Scottie Pippen in that season, the 88 season. People say, man, I want to know my future. Well, in your future, they're going to say that because of you, it was because Michael Jordan got over the hump with your 7 points per game in the playoffs. And Pippen's probably looking crazy like, what? Do you know the all-time season that this guy put up? Who are these fans? Well, they're going to be LeBron fans. God, they're idiots. So Michael Jordan, the next season, instead of letting off and being like, that was cool, that was good enough, that cements my legacy as one of the best. Mike then, the next season, puts up 25, 5, 5, 1.5 steals. No, sir. No, sir. Mike comes back out the next season and puts up 32 points per game, 8 rebounds per game, 8 assists, 2.9 steals, 0.8 blocks on 53% shooting and 85% from the line. And attempted one three-pointer a game. God. What kind of numbers are these? Scottie Pippen got to be. This is Pippen's second season after Pippen just saw this guy sweep all these awards. This is the next season. Pippen's got to be pooping his pants. Is this guy real? What am I going to do? This is what I got to live up to. This guy just did this the next season. 32, 8, and 8. 3 steals. 53% from the field for a guard? It's insane. It's insane. Pretty much. Could you imagine a guard shooting 53% from the perimeter? This guy's unstoppable. While dishing out 8 assists and grabbing 8 rebounds. Oh my goodness. And he could have just laid back. You already got a shoe out. First year in the league, already got a shoe. Third season in the league, 37 points per game. What was it? 5 rebounds, like 5 assists, 2.9 steals, one block. Pippen, the all-around player. So who did Pippen learn to be the all-around player after? I'm just wondering. I'm looking on the screen right here. Imagine, and you don't even win MVP for this? Mike put up 37, what was it? 37, 5, and 5 and something? 30, yeah. That 87 season, 37, 5, 5, 2.9 steals, a block. Didn't even get on the defensive team. Didn't win MVP. Man. Dudes is talking about in the LeBron era they got robbed from the MVP. And Mike was putting up stats like that. And then he puts up stats like this following the 88 season where he swept all the awards. That's insane. If I'm not mistaken, I want to say, didn't Magic win it this year? I have to go back and look. And that's where I got a beef. When they're giving out these awards, And they talking about, well, he had a better record than Micheal Jordan. Huh. But how? How did they have a better record than Micheal Jordan? No, don't worry about it. If Larry Bird won his MVPs, don't worry about it. Four Hall of Famers on his team. Well, Magic was winning it. Don't worry about it. 4 Hall of Famers on his team. And it's about they had the better record? Wouldn't they have the better record? I just don't get it. The most valuable player to your team. How can you be the most valuable player to 4 Hall of Fame teammates? And when we count you, when we're talking about Bird or Magic, we're talking about 5 Hall of Famers on one team. So, how are you most valuable to your team? So, let's say if Mike would have put up, I don't know, those years when, he was putting up these great stats and not winning MVPs in the 80s. He did one year, the 88 season. Let's say if he put up 25, 5-5, and 1 steal. Or 20 points per game, 5 and 6 and 1.5 steals. You think his teams will be making the playoffs? I don't think so. So to me, it seemed like Mike would be more valuable to his team. Of course, with these gaudy stats, they're still not going to have a better record because he doesn't have 4 Hall of Famers on his team, like the Lakers, like the Celtics. Even when we looked at the Pistons, what was it, 80, 88? They have 4 Hall of Famers on that team. Yep. It might have been 87 and 88. 4 Hall of Famers on that team. And then 89 and 93. Just saying. Mike is doing this with a bench player. Out of, what was it, Central Arkansas? Let's move on. So the next season, after he put up 32, 8 and 8, the ball hog, the guy who ain't the all-around player, after not winning MVP, he follows that up with 33.6 points per game, basically 7 rebounds, 6.3 assists, 2.8 steals, 0.7 blocks, on 52.6 from the field, 37.6 from the 3. He attempted 3 a game, pretty decent for back then. 84.8 from the line, and 227 steals. So by now, the savior, the LeBron fan saviors, Scottie Pippen, he cannot believe that he's playing with somebody like this. There's no way. He can't believe Micheal Jordan is a real, actual human person. Just don't let off. It's insane. Don't worry about it. It was Doug Collins that taught Scottie Pippen all he needed to know. The bench player. And the only reason why he started in the playoffs his first season, that's how horrible that team was. They had nobody. When you look at the Pistons, you got Vinny the Microwave, cold-blooded shooter. Isaiah Thomas, perimeter shooter. I can't remember this guy's name. He only played 2 seasons over there. He's a Hall of Famer. Cold-blooded shooter from the perimeter. Could drive. Bill Laimbeer. Shoot anywhere on the floor. In the paint. from the three, mid-range, Mark Aguirre. Wow. Mark Aguirre. Cold-blooded shooter. Joe Dumars, Finals MVP. He could shoot anywhere on the court. Anywhere he could shoot on the court. And what did Mike have? All the guys I named were better shooters than Scottie Pippen. Vinny the Microwave, Mark Aguirre, Bill Laimbeer, Isaiah Thomas, Joe Dumars, and why forget this guy's name? I don't know why. A Hall of Famer. He could also shoot better. All those guys can shoot better than Pippen. Who was the shooter that Michael had? Y'all gotta stop, man. I might be missing some guys. Yes, you had Paxson, but he couldn't get his own shot. He had to be wide open to get that shot. You had Craig Hodges. He had to be wide open to get his shot. And then you had all the goons on top of that. The Rodmans, the John Sallys, the Edwards. Who else? I guess you can call Bill Laimbeer a goon. These type of guys. What kind of goons did Michael Jordan have? Horace Grant. Soft as tissue. Mike had to make him tough. Bill Cartwright? Grumpy old man, I guess. If you were scared of some elbow swinging, maybe so. Not Will Perdue. Nobody's scared of Will Perdue. This is what Michael was up against. Ball hog. Who was you gonna swing it to? That was gonna penetrate and take their own shot and drive to the hole. Mike didn't have no Byron Scott, no AC Green. Even Magic could shoot better than Pippen. Was a better shooter. This guy, I don't know how many years this guy, 50% from the field. His head scratching. Dennis Johnson could shoot better than Pippen. Danny Ainge could shoot better than Pippen. Bird. Micheal was a block guy. Robert Parrish was on the block. Just other guys on them Celtics teams. And it was many guys on the Cavaliers team that could shoot better than Pippen. That was all Michael really had as a real versatile shooter was Pippen. He really didn't learn these things until, I would say, about 91. So what I'm trying to tell you is Scottie Pippen turned into one of the greatest all-around players of all time. But he learned this from Michael Jordan. He didn't learn this from himself. They saw potential in this guy if he could start eating, lifting weights, stop being scared. They saw potential in him. You got to remember, Mike wasn't getting all these draft picks. You had the Celtics and the Lakers getting lottery draft picks after they just won the championship. Getting good free agents after they just won championships. And I'm talking about teams, other teams, well, they were franchise players at one time. Let you guys figure this out. You got the Pistons. They was getting all these good trades, guys that could shoot, guys that could defend. Mike had to work from the draft. What was the best free agent he got? Bill Cartwright? Bill Cartwright. I think he was solid. He wasn't no great basketball player, but he wasn't a punk. He wasn't going to back down. So these guys eventually became great because they jumped on the back of Micheal Jordan. And Mike told them what they could be, all-time greats, if you play up to your potentials. And eventually they did. He didn't go get all these trades. And I can make a video on that. I can make a video on that. So if you think I'm playing, Micheal Jordan basically was playing checkers in the 80s while all these guys were playing chess. Basically, what Mike was saying, he didn't need another franchise player from another team. He could put this on his back. And eventually he did. Let me tell you what, Stockton and Malone just, they made like double the All-Star appearances together that Jordan and Pippen did. So the point of this video is that Mike, he just kept reinventing himself every single year and working on his game and putting up these incredible numbers every single year. He wasn't just satisfied. And it came in handy. Once he got to the finals, yes, he wasn't putting up these gaudy numbers like this all the time in the finals, but kind of like muscle memory. If you're always working hard, as far as even if you're going full throttle when it's easy. So when it's hard, it's not going to be as hard. Mike was still going full throttle even when it was easy. Like it was hard. So when it was actually hard, it wasn't that hard. I'm kind of like that at my job. And I won't get too deep into it. Just one of the best at what I do. At my job for 21 years. And highly respected because I've always went full throttle. And throughout the years, many people don't like that. But when we get the hard stuff, it's not hard no more. I mean, it's hard, but it's not as hard. But it might be hard for them because they're not used to going full throttle all the time. So this is who Mike was. A lot of these guys weren't like this. That's why LeBron will never be in his class. Now, I can respect him the first time he was at Cleveland. He was putting up great numbers. And we put out that video that eventually he gave up. He couldn't do it. So he ran away. And never had the career like Kobe, like Jordan, like Magic. None of these guys. Tell me what you think.